a video that Pixbum53 did, and she was showing some of her books and her recommendations, so I thought that as I own a lot of books, I would do the same. So I'm just going to literally show you my bookshelf and go through some of the books that I have, although a lot of the books I have, as I mentioned with my DVDs, they're actually in storage, but these will do. So we've got The Help by Catherine Stockett. Obviously, that's been in the movies recently, and it's a really, really good story. I wouldn't say it's the, oh my gosh, you've got to read it, but I did enjoy it, and I've got the audiobook as well, so I could listen to it again if I wanted, but to be honest, I probably won't. This book, which is Broken Wings by Sharon Osbourne, is a book that I was given to read so that I could review it on a radio show. It's quite deep. It's about somebody who was abused, and yeah, it's that kind of book. It is in the category, I would say, of ugly and those kind of books by Constance Briscoe. So yeah, I used to, for a time, work in a bookshop, not in the bookshop head office, so I did get a lot of books for free. This is one of them. The Enchanted Island is actually, it's a collection of Shakespeare stories that have been modernised, and we actually read this in school, but I enjoyed it so much that I got another copy and I kept it so that I can, catch up on my Shakespeare. This Team GB keyring was given to me by a business mentor when she went to the Olympic Park in July. So that's really awesome. I'll stick that down there. Sorry. And yeah, just a few more books that I got from the bookshop. Olivia Goldsmith is a chick lit writer, and I read quite a few of her books before I got a bit bored with the genre, I guess. But I did used to read chick lit for years and years, and then I started to get into Martina Cole and Patricia Cornwell. The Lady Killer is the first book in the Martina Cole series, and somebody said to me, read this book, and it was a total culture shock for me, as I'd never read anything quite like it. I went on to read 18 more of her books, and yeah, she's definitely a really great author, as is Patricia Cornwell, with her Scarpetta series. James Patterson, another one who does great back-to-back series books, but I only read a few of them actually. Not last year, but the year before, I did Race for Life. I did try to polish this, I promise. Yeah, so I did Race for Life, which in the UK is a fundraising event for females to do to raise money for cancer research. So it was fantastic. Last year I was too ill to do it, but this year I plan to do it again. Yeah. Some of the books that I've got down here, Cultural Theory, The Key Concepts, Advertising, Reporting Crime. Some of these I needed study journalism. As you can see, I've still got my reference points in there, so that's why I've got those. The psychology of, what does that say? Interpersonal behaviour, and I'm ashamed to say that looks like it's from the library, so I really have to return that at some point, even though I did my degree quite a long time ago now, many years ago. You know, the typical Bridget Jones. We all know what Bridget Jones is, and yeah, it's just great fun. It's a little bit damaged actually on the sleeve. Public relations, advertising, this is all university related. Startups, I've got quite a few startup books from when I was starting my business. I'm the kind of person that likes to be really well informed, and I read and read and read until actually it was time to stop reading and just start. So yeah, I've been running my business since 2010. It was August of 2010. Marketing copy, same kind of thing. I just wanted to read and read so that I had a lot of background information. I got this book at university, The Effective Study Skills, but it can also help with some of the work I do on the side, helping people to understand what is expected from them in terms of studying and dissertations and things like that. So on the side, people often come to me to ask me to help them to, to form their literature reviews or to proofread some of the work they do. When I was in my early 20s, which wasn't that long ago in my opinion, my friend and I used to do an evening job, and we started to read Virginia Andrews' books, and we loved them. I think she's probably quite underrated nowadays, but no, she's just very, very good, and I would definitely recommend them to anybody. I became obsessed with body language in about 2008, and when I was in New York, I actually bought the body language book. As we go down the shelves, you'll see that I've got more body language books. I haven't read it from cover to cover, but it is very interesting. I love British heritage and things like the letterbox, the red postbox, and our original telephone box, which you don't see many of nowadays, or you don't see many that are working. Also, the black cab, which is an iconic in British culture, as is the yellow cab for New York. I really love things like that. So then we go down to this shelf, and I've got a whole load of random things. I think I won this. I do like Doctor Who, but I wouldn't have bought this. So I think I won it in a raffle or something like that. I don't even remember, because I've put it on the shelf and never picked it up since. That's really bad. I call myself a fan. Anyway, more study skills, because my mum works in the social work arena, and so I have a lot of knowledge on that area based on the things she knows, and also the area that I work in a little bit. So media, and then I've got my Bible. I've got quite a few Bibles, so as we go down you'll see more of those. I should probably read them a bit more, but this one's well worn, which means it's probably not mine. That's bad. Sociology. Nicole Richie wrote a book once, and I just thought it would be really cool to read it, and so I bought it when I was in New York, and it's actually shelf, and we've got, I didn't show you my globes. We've got my paperweights. So we've got the globe, which I love. I actually got this from my mum. And we've got a football random. But yeah, I love those, I really do. Stick that up there for now. And this is the shelf that I keep my notebooks and diaries on. I have a lot more, but and I've actually got 2 of these diaries. But to date, this is where I keep these ones. This particular book was given to me by a very special friend, and it's so unique and special. And he wanted me to continue writing, and he got me this with a really beautiful pen, and it was a real inspiration. One of my cousins broke my Russian dolls, so as you can see, they've stuffed it in upside down, so it's stuck in there. There's no freeing it. So I'll just leave them there and pretend that they're normal. So like I said, we've got the Bible. I think my mum bought me this Bible when I was 16 or something, and I loved it because it was the dusky kind of pink colour. I was never a girly girl. I was very girly, but I could also be a tomboy or whatever. But I didn't want something typical, just the black, because I didn't, and I always did love it. So yeah, and then the Clear Word Bible, which is a Bible that's written in modern lay language, so you can almost read it like a story, I guess. And then this, I was sick, very, very sick, seriously ill, and I had some support from some people, so these are just thank you cards that I've used half of to send to a few special people, so I'm glad that I've seen that. Actually, I can remember that they're there. When I was sick, I was given this book, Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive, and the person that gave it to me to borrow, said that it was really inspirational. To be honest, I never found the time to read it, and that was in 2010/11, so that's quite bad actually, but I have let her know that I still have her book, and she's told me she'd rather I read it first before she gave it back. These cash on demand, ignore, because I've never opened them. They were sent to me free, and I think it was one of those schemes where people try to get you to sign up for things initially for free, and then actually they try to take a lot of your money. Secrets of Sanity for Stressed Women. I think I got that from my mum. Some CDs. I don't know how many of you remember World Books, but these are 3 of the ones that I was able to save. I don't know what my mum did with the others from when I was a kid, and childcraft books as well. I wish that I had them all, because I'm a little bit of a geek. I do like to just sit and read the encyclopedia and just learn new things. But to be honest, the way the world is, we can do that online these days anyway. And then just some more paperwork and random things on the bottom row there. Magazines. I think one of those might be The Royal Wedding or something. That was in June 2012. I don't even remember buying or reading that. Anyway, so this is a smaller bookshelf that I've got, and these are some balls that the kids use they kind of collapsed. I've got two. But when you bounce them, which I won't do right now, it'll be really loud, they do light up and go very sparkly, which is really cool. But yeah, odd. So these are some of the chick lit books that I have. Yeah, these two were really good. I actually really enjoyed them, as were these two. So I'd recommend them definitely. When I was a teenager, I loved Adrian Mole, but I would say that I bought this a few years ago when I was in an airport, and actually I slept for the whole flight, so I didn't end up reading it, and I never have since. There's another one of my body language books. I don't know where the others are, we might see them down the bottom, but perhaps not. And then we've got my dissertation at university. I did on Sex and the City, and I looked at three main themes. So ageism, sexism, and racism, or something like that. I forget now. But I got a 2-1 on my dissertation, so I was really pleased. And I was obsessed with Sex and the City at the time. I was a latecomer, so when the series was on TV, I didn't watch it, but I ended up watching it much later and really enjoying the writing. Yeah, more business books. Oakland's College with my cousin. This is my favourite book because I'm gonna do a video where I read from this book, and it's called Mr. God, This is Anna, and it's about a little girl who was homeless, and it's based on a true story, and who met and befriended an older guy. I think he was like 16 or something, and they became friends, and it was about her exploration of life and the meaning of life and that kind of thing. And I haven't described it very well at all, but it's changed my mind, my life many a time, and I've bought copies to share with people because it's a story that I really want, everyone in the world to have read. So, oh yeah, she was 4 and he was 16. Yeah, amazing. Absolutely, I will definitely do a video on Mr. God, This is Anna, and I hope that you all are inspired by it when you hear it. So just some more random books. Virginia Andrews. And then the last shelf I'm going to show you is filled with more random books, I guess. I used this in 2008. I need one for 2013 actually. I use it a lot for the kind of work I do. Sociology is always good to have that kind of knowledge and to keep up to date on the kind of changes that are happening. This is my iPad case, which I don't really use, it's empty, so I've just kept it in there. Dissertations, project reports, another body language book, which I bought in New York in 2008. It seems like I bought all of my books in New York in 2008, but that's not the case at all. I've been to New York many times, I've got lots of family out there, and I just happened to buy lots of things that year, I guess. And finally, I'll talk a little bit, just tell you, I studied massage when I left school. I went to college, and so I've got a lot of books that are about massage and the guide to massage and that kind of thing. So, yeah, that was something that I really enjoyed, and I still do actually. My family still get me to massage them along. And then finally, what I'll say is that behind this top shelf are other books, but to be honest, they don't really get the light of day very much. I guess I need some more bookshelves. Belder Shore, which was really kind of I can't remember what the series was called with Billy Piper, but it was really good, and it was a huge television series over here, and I believe in the States. So that is my collection of books for today, and I hope that you've enjoyed them. And this has been She Whispers UK, and I'll see you again soon.